Shai just put the league on notice with his latest performance against the Sacramento Kings. And we're also going to look and see if this is enough to get him over this bump and win the MVP award. Before we get into all this, though, don't forget to hit subscribe. As you can see here, 92.4% of you guys are not subscribed that are watching these videos. If you love the content and you're watching, you're coming back anyways, why don't you just go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It means the world to me here at Thunder Digest, and it shows how much you support and love this content. It also beats the YouTube algorithm and shows what kind of videos you guys really do enjoy. So hit that subscribe button. Let's raise that number. Try to get it 50-50. All right, I want to see it at 100% of you guys subscribe, but 50-50, we'll call that a win. All right, now let's get into this. Speaking of wins, the Oklahoma City Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a great game against the Sacramento Kings last night, winning that game 112-105 and overcoming a 20-point deficit at one point. This was led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as he dropped 40 in his return for the Thunder. And this was a big-time win that the Thunder needed. We already clinched a top 3 seed after beating the Charlotte Hornets without SGA and Dub. But this is the first game that we had them back both in the lineup. And this was kind of a not necessarily, a needed win, but it was a feel-good win. It gives us momentum and shows that SGA, even though he was dealing with an injury, along with Dub, they are able to play to the best of their ability still and give us at least 30 points. We saw that with Shai, who had 40 points this game. You look at the stats here and everything. He had 40 points and 7 rebounds yesterday against the Sacramento Kings, and those are great numbers, and those are numbers that we're usually seeing by SGA on a nightly basis. He's that 31-point merchant, as people like to say. He gets his 31 points and he's done for the night. He's been killing it on that aspect and everything. He has the most 30-point games this season, and he's just been playing great all around. It was nice to see him finally get back into the lineup and play and start for this Thunder team and show that he is one of the best players in the world, if not the best player in the world at the moment with that 40-point performance. And like I mentioned and everything, it was a 20-point comeback. This is an article on ESPN. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scored 40 points in his return from injury, and the Oklahoma City Thunder rallied from a 20-point deficit to defeat Sacramento 112-105 on Tuesday night as the Kings' Domantas Sabonis had his double-double streak halted at 61 games. Gilgeous-Alexander had missed 6 of the team's previous 7 games with a bruised right thigh, and the team went 2-4 without him. He gave Oklahoma City a much-needed boost against the Kings, scoring the team's final 6 points to seal an important win. Now, as you can see there, we were struggling without him. We went 2-4 without him on this stretch, and you can tell we're not the same team without SGA. Even when we have Dub on the court and everything, we're still not the same team. You can tell we're missing a certain key piece, and I think SGA is that key piece that's leading us to being as good as we are, because not only is he scoring 30 points a night right now, he's also distracting the defense a little bit. That opens up J-Dub, one of the better second scoring options in the NBA, to go out and do his thing on a nightly basis, giving us 20 points a game, along with Chet Holmgren, who's giving us a solid 17. And you also have Dort and Josh Giddey stepping up in that starting lineup right now because the attention is all on Shai. So you forget about these guys that are back cutting or being left wide open on the perimeter and taking these 3-point shots, such as Dort, who's a 3-and-D type of guy. Then Josh Giddey, who's just going to drive around. He's not going to do anything special. Doesn't have any, amazing moves in his bag, but he's so fundamental. And it's just, you kind of forget about him, that he can give you the occasional 20 to 25 points that we have been seeing him doing. And he's also been dropping a lot of triple doubles. And so not only is Shai going out there and giving us the points he needs, he's also opening up the floor for his teammates. It's not showing on the assist numbers and everything, because he's only averaging, I believe, 5 assists a game right now, 5 or 6. But he is doing so much that opens up the court. You have to give him all your attention, because I saw a tweet that said the only way to defeat Shai on defense is to just pray. Like, I saw that quote and everything, and I kind of agree with that. There's not much you can do because he has every facet of the game offensively on lock. And it's kind of leading to the next point here. Is this enough to win him the MVP award? This is something that Thunder fans are wondering right now. I'm one of the Thunder fans where, I'm not necessarily worried about him winning the award because he's going to be a finalist. We all know this. Finalists are going to be him, Luka, and Jokic. We know that, all right? We've known this for a few weeks now. But I'm more worried about winning the finals. But this is also back in my mind and everything too. I am a little bit curious, and so we're going to look at it a little bit. We're going to look at it in the latest rankings. He's at number 3 right now, right behind Luka and Jokic, which I personally think he's 1 or 2. Right now, it's really close between him and Luka, but these are his reasons, all right? Look at the season stats: 30 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, and 6.3 assists per game. His case: Gilgeous-Alexander missed the 4th of Oklahoma City's last 5 games Wednesday at Boston. That eventually moved up to 6, effectively pumping the brakes for now on what's been a strong MVP candidacy. Let's not forget the 25-year-old has started in 71 of OKC's 76 games up to this point, made it 71, or now after what will be the Spurs, it'll be, if my math is correct, 73 of 80. Given the club's lead over several teams in the West, Gilgeous-Alexander's prospects remain alive if the Thunder can maintain and finish among the top 3 in the conference. OKC is now 1-4 without SGA. And so even though, all right, we're not doing too hot without him right now and everything, it kind of helps his case and shows that maybe the Thunder really do need this player, and that he is one of the main reasons, and if not the reason, they will finish as a top 3 team. I think that helps out his case and everything. As you look at some other things that we have going on right now too, we have an opportunity to play and prove our case against another MVP finalist in Luka Doncic on our last game of the season. That's going to be a huge game that I have circled right now on my calendar. Is this Mavericks game? Sure, the Bucks game is going to be awesome too, but Giannis Antetokounmpo is not really scheduled to play that game right now, coming off of a calf strain. They might rest him up going into the playoffs, so we might not see that. So even if he does drop 35 points against the Bucks, they're going to be like, Giannis wasn't playing, so it's not really that impressive. What will be impressive is if he can lock down Luka and also give him 35 points and a win against the Mavericks to finish the season out. I think that could be enough to get him over that little, bump, that little hill and everything, and win him the MVP award. Because right now, it's Jokic in first and Luka in second. I don't even think Jokic should be in the conversation this year. He's not really dominating like he has been for the past 2-3 seasons, but he will be a finalist. I think he's at 3. It should come down between Luka and SGA, though, I believe so, as Luka is almost averaging a triple-double, I believe, and then SGA, he's putting it on historical numbers right now, as you can see here. StatMuse tweeted out, this is Shai's MVP case. His splits are 36, 6, and 2 if you round it up, 2 steals. First in 30-point games this season, most 30-point games since 2019 Harden, who also won the MVP award that year, leading the NBA in steals, top 3 in ISO and transition points, best player on top 3C. And he joined Steph Curry and Michael Jordan as the only guards to average 35, 5, and 2 splits on 50-plus field goal percentage in a season. That's pretty good. Wrong button. That's pretty good company. All right, and that is where I think his MVP case lies, is he plays defense unlike the other 2 candidates. He joins an elite club with 2 other players, 2 who are going to, one who's arguably the GOAT and everything. I'm not going to get into that. We're not here to discuss the GOAT debate. Michael Jordan, who is discussed as the GOAT of basketball, and then Steph Curry, who's going to finish top 10 all time and is the best shooter in NBA history. He is, I don't care what you say, as a Thunder fan, it pains me to say it, but I have to admit it, Steph Curry is the best shooter to ever play the game. And so, hey, that's pretty good company to be a part of. Steph Curry, when he had those splits as well, won the MVP award unanimously. And so I think it's kind of leading up. You look at the stats and look who he's with and everything in those, little echelons and milestones. You kind of have to give him the award then. You're going to say someone that joins only 2 other players in all of NBA history, one of them the GOAT, and another one the best shooter of all time, you're not going to give him the award? It doesn't really make sense. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. And so that's his case, and also playing defense. Only other players, that play defense this year are Giannis, and he's not going to be a finalist. Jason Tatum as well, he won't be a finalist either. He might not even finish top 5 at this rate. And so you have to look at it and everything. That's where his case lies, is you're looking at all these milestones he hit, and they're with other MVPs, and those were their cases as well. And so that's where you kind of look at it and everything with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and why he should win MVP is because he's joining all these elite clubs and everything, whereas Luka and Jokic, they're not really, doing anything. They haven't improved. SGA has improved from last year, whereas Jokic and Luka, they're doing the same thing that they have been. Sure, it's dominance, but they aren't at the same level as SGA defensively, and that's where his case lies, and that's where he should win it. That's all I got for this Thunder Digest video. Once again, pulling up the graphic again. If you stayed this long, might as well subscribe. Even out that number a little bit. 92.4% of you guys are not subscribed. What are you doing? You stayed for the whole video. You love the content. Hit the subscribe button. That's simple. I'll catch you guys in the next Thunder Digest video, and we'll see you around.